I'd like to welcome everyone to our webinar this evening. Welcome to all of those joining us from Latin America. We're very happy to have you here with us today. My name is Amira Jiwaji, and I'm an international student recruiter at Vancouver Island University. And I'll be managing the webinar this evening. Next slide, please, Christine. Thank you. Quick run through our agenda for this evening. I'll be introducing our panel to you, and I'll start with Ms. Catherine Brazier. She is the principal of our high school, and she will be introducing our high school program to you and the connection between the high school and the university. And then our two high school instructors, Tricia Young and Christine Lynch, will take us through the ESL Academic Preparation program, highlight some of the features, and explain how it helps you to transition to high school education in Canada. And then our VIU recruiter who coordinates Latin America, Pamela. I'm not going to try to pronounce your last name. Welcome, Pamela, from Ecuador. She will share a couple of slides and she will translate the bulk of the content to Spanish for those of you who are joining us who are second language English speakers. And then we'll come to the Q&A and the more interactive part of this evening. We'll be running two quick polls so that we can hear about your views, and then any of your questions that you have, you can put them into the Q&A. We'll answer them as we go, and we'll give you some verbal responses right at the end of the presentation. Over to you, Catherine.
Good evening. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. I'm very excited to, first of all, I am Catherine Brazier, the principal of the high school, and very, very happy to welcome you to listen to this exciting new program that our high school instructors, Christine and Tricia, have developed for us. This program is a preparation for coming to Canada and studying for British Columbia's high school diploma. Our diploma, the British Columbia Dogwood diploma, allows access to any university in North America and beyond. Tricia and Christine, the developers and instructors in this program, will give all the details of the ESL Academic Preparation for High School program. But before they do, I would like to give you a brief overview of our school and the purpose of our ESL online program. The high school at VIU is a grade 10 to 12 school situated on a university campus. We are fully integrated with the university and have access to all of the services and facilities that the university provides. Our student population is generally 60% international and 40% Canadian, although due to COVID, we're going to be a little bit closer to about 50-50. We currently have over 20 countries represented in our student body, which makes for a very diverse and fascinating school. We are what's called a one-to-one Chromebook school. And for those of you who haven't had exposure to Chromebooks, they're like small laptops, but they are web-based, so there is no hard drive, which makes them economical and really useful for students. And every single student in our school is issued a Chromebook when they arrive. It's on loan while they are at our school. And this Chromebook goes with them to all of their classes. It certainly has been a huge help during the online instruction. And so when students come to our high school, they can expect that tool. In our classrooms, we have no cell phones. So students are focused only on learning and teachers can focus on teaching. This is one of the aspects of our school that parents love. So that's a little bit about our school, and where we're located is on beautiful Vancouver Island, which is not Vancouver, but it is only a short 20-minute flight from Vancouver. We are in the city of Nanaimo, which is a small, very safe location, yet with all of the amenities found in a larger city. So why did we miss a slide? Yeah, why do the ESL academic preparation online? Many international students and their parents have been confused when their children come to Canada and are put in ESL classes. They feel that they've already learned a lot of English and can speak quite well in English. I'll talk a little bit about that, in the next slide. But our ESL Academic Online program provides one-to-one support for students. It is self-paced, so students can move as quickly or take as much time as they need in order to properly learn the skills. Taught by highly qualified and experienced teachers, as you will find out shortly. And it is preparation for academic English, which I'll speak to briefly in the next slide. And then taking our ESL Academic Preparation program guarantees acceptance to the high school, which also guarantees acceptance to Vancouver Island University. So it is a pathway program to VIU. And then the final slide. So this is where some confusion comes in for international students. They feel that they already know enough English to be able to start on the academic programs. But what they don't understand is that there are two kinds of English learning, as there is in any language. There is social English, which can be acquired quite quickly and is used for conversation, can be learned through repetition and exposure. But then there's academic English, and that is what our program focuses on, because strength in academic English is what students need in order to be successful at high school and particularly at university. To become proficient in academic English, it can take approximately 5 to 7 years. We don't keep students in ESL for 5 to 7 years, but they are still learning as they move through. Academic English can only be learned through explicit instruction. It is much more sophisticated than social English. There is much more variety in vocabulary, and there's a heavy emphasis on grammar. So our online program provides the instruction for that academic English that is crucial for success in high school and university. So I'll now turn the presentation over to Tricia and Christine, who will walk you through the program itself. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us. My name is Tricia Young, and I have been teaching English and ESL to Canadians and international students for 23 years now. And so this is a really exciting project for us to undertake and to be able to provide this service to people internationally. Christine?
Hi, my name is Christine. I've been at the high school for just over 5 years now. And working closely with Tricia, and I've also been helping to develop this program with her. So we've put together a little video that goes over some of the key points that Kathy just introduced to you, and then we'll go a little further into some of the ins and outs of this new program. So in that video, those were all clips of our campus here in Nanaimo, and a lot of the scenery was all areas around Nanaimo as well.
Great. So what I'm going to do is just talk a little bit about why we developed the program. As Kathy mentioned, we a lot of students come to our school and their English is low, and so they have to take their ESL classes until they can get to a higher level of English. So we wanted to give students the opportunity to be able to get their academic English levels up in their home country so they could still live with their families or wherever they want to be and take English and get support from BC certified teachers. So the courses are designed that they're online. Students can take them anywhere in the world. It's self-paced, so that meaning they can work as hard or as little as they want. And they can start anytime. Most of the units we will start at the beginning of the week, but a student could start their unit, their level in October or whenever it works for them. So when the students finish their levels, we've got 4 levels, and students will be placed in what level their English is at when they get assessed. They would, when they finish it, if they came to the high school at VIU, they would get 4 course credits per level that they've done, and that would go towards their BC high school graduation program. Now, students, we've designed it so that students who are about 12 and up could take the course, and the requirement really is that students have a basic level of English reading, writing, and speaking. So we will be doing assessment on that of each student, and we'll determine if they're a good fit and what level they would go into at that time. So each course, so we've got 4 different levels, is divided into 12 units. And each unit we estimate will take a student between about 10 hours to complete. So we're estimating about 120 hours total. In each unit, students will focus on reading comprehension, writing, grammar, listening, and speaking. And the thing that's really unique about our program compared to many others is that the teacher is very involved. The teacher will be emailing the student will be having to interact with the teacher, do corrections. And with that being said, each unit, at the end of each unit, students will have a video conference call, a one-on-one with the teacher. So this will be 15 minutes, and the students will sign up for that. And at this time, the teacher will go over any areas of concern, or the student can ask the teacher more questions and get some additional help. So in total for each level, there will be over 3 hours of one-on-one student instructor time, which is really unique because many online courses don't do that. And the contact with the teacher is very minimal. Now, another unique feature is that the units are locked. So a student has to have some kind of mastery of what is being taught in that unit before the teacher will open up the next unit. So the focus really is, just like in a classroom, we want students to be correcting their work and understanding what they're doing well and what they need work on and how to do that. In addition, we've created teacher videos. So of all of the main concepts that we want students to know, we created videos, and we will be showing some of those to you in a bit. Now each, sorry, I just had a question. Is course and level the same thing? No, each course, well, course, sorry, yes it is. So if I'm saying course and level, I just mean the ESL 1, ESL 2, ESL 3, ESL 4. Sorry if there's any confusion there. So the I think really a really strong feature of this is there's going to be interaction with the teacher and a lot of feedback. And we also will be doing a proctored exam at the midterm and at the end, where the student will be on video with the teacher watching, and also having to do some oral components in that as well. But also the oral components will be every time a unit is done, the student will be speaking with the teacher for 15 minutes. I think that's good. Yeah.
All right, so this course, we are using a platform called Canvas. The nice thing about Canvas is it works all over the world. It's very easy to use, easy to navigate. So when a student signs in, they'll already be enrolled in their course. So all they need to do is sign in with the user name and password that we provide them. And their course, one of these little boxes will show up, and they just click on it and navigate right into the first module. As Tricia was saying, each module opens up as the teacher says they're ready. So they won't be able to just fly through all 12 units and be like, I'm done. The teacher has to say, yes, you're ready to move on before that next unit will open up for them. So right down at the bottom here, it says teacher corrections and feedback. I'm just gonna go to the next slide here. This is actually an assignment that they have to complete. So the teacher will give the assignments back, and then students have an opportunity to fix any make any corrections from any mistakes that they've made on any of the assignments. And then they actually have to resubmit in order to move on again. And then once they've resubmitted these corrections, that's when the student would make an appointment with the teacher, and they would have a one-on-one conversation. And this is an opportunity for students to get some feedback on anything that they're not understanding, or teacher gives the teacher an opportunity to teach directly any misconcepts throughout that unit. So if there's something that the student's really struggling with that's clear, the teacher then has that opportunity to work with them one-on-one in those teacher conferences. So just to reiterate, they can't move through all the units until the teacher allows them to. Within each unit, there's different videos, but they're also in the reference section. So there's always going to be worksheets and references for students to look back on grammar notes or instructions for certain assignments. So these videos have been developed by BC certified teachers. They go over grammar or instructions on assignments, or expectations for that level. And there's a variety of different videos there. So we put together one short little sample here so you can kind of see what those look like. Go ahead and play this.
Today we're going to look at what is a prepositional phrase. A prepositional phrase is a group of words that always contains a preposition and a noun or a pronoun. Prepositions usually indicate time or place. For example, I saw him at the mall. At the mall is my prepositional phrase. At is a preposition and mall is the noun. Or, I met him on Friday. On is my preposition and Friday is my noun. For more information about prepositions and prepositional phrases, please look at the reference section of your course.
Yeah, so there's many different videos throughout each level for students to refer to. And the nice thing about the video lessons is you can watch them as many times as you need. You can pause them, take notes, or just leave them there and refer back to them when you need them.
I guess I'll unmute myself. So how it really works is if you have a student or a unit you are interested, the student would do an English assessment, and that includes the Vital English, and we would also be doing a video conference call with the student and then place the student. After that, they would complete ESL 1 to 4. They don't need to do every level. It depends on what level their English is. So they could come in at a ESL 3 and that would be fine as well. After that, if they choose to do so, they could come and attend the high school at VIU. And when they do that, they would get credits there towards their graduation program. And then they can start their graduation journey with us in Canada. So the cost of it is, there's an application fee of $50, which is a one-time fee. And the tuition, which would include everything, is $1,500. So these are Canadian dollars. And if the student decides to come to the high school at VIU and enroll, the application fee of $250 would be waived at that time. So how do you go about applying? First of all, we need to have the passport or national identification and the application fee of $50. Then a student would fill out the online form on True North, which is an online platform. And after they do that, they would do the Vital English assessment test. And then once we get the results of that, we would be, the teachers would be contacting the student to set up a video conference call like what we're doing right now.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Catherine, Trisha, and Christine. I'd like to run one of the first polls now before we transition into the Spanish slides that Pamela is going to take us through. Sherry, may I please ask you to run that first poll for us? Okay, we'll go with this one. This was supposed to come in the next one, but we can start off with this one, no problem. So the question is, what would be your plans after completing ESL Academic Preparation? Would you want to continue to a high school in Canada, continue to a high school in another English-speaking country, complete high school in your home country, or continue to our high school at Vancouver Island University? I'll give you a couple of minutes to fill that out. And I'm wondering, Pamela, would you mind, I know this is off the cuff, translating that quickly to Spanish for our participants?
Of course. Thank you, Amira. So the question in Spanish will be, ¿cuáles son tus planes después de completar la preparación académica de inglés en línea, el programa que estamos presentando? La primera opción es continuar en un high school o en una secundaria, preparatorio, bachillerato en Canadá, continuar en un high school en cualquier otro país de habla inglesa, continuar high school en el país de residencia, o continuar el high school en nuestra secundaria en Vancouver Island University. Okay, Amira.
Thank you, Pamela.
Welcome.
I think we probably have a few of those results in. So if Sherry, you could show us the results, and let's get a feel for what our panelists, our attendees are planning to do, or their children are after completing our online ESL Academic Preparation program. Oh, excellent. This is the best answer of the lot. All of you would like to continue to our high school, and that's exactly what we were hoping for. Of course, we would, on completion of our high school program, we would prepare you to either transition into Vancouver Island University or any other university in Canada or overseas. But starting with us is definitely the right choice. So Pamela, over to you for the Spanish slides, please.
Thank you. Bueno, mucho gusto con todos. Como me habían presentado previamente, mi nombre es Pamela Cisneros y estoy encargada del reclutamiento de toda la región de Latinoamérica. El programa que estamos presentando ofrece 4 niveles de preparación académica de inglés en que los estudiantes pueden iniciar el curso. Lo más importante es que se puede iniciar en cualquier momento y pueden hacerlo desde su país de origen o su país de residencia. Es ideal para estudiantes con un nivel de inglés básico, pueden ser a partir de los 12 años en adelante, que estén buscando mejorar su nivel de inglés académico, como había explicado Catherine, que hay una diferencia entre el inglés que utilizamos para conversaciones informales versus el inglés académico que se necesitaría ya para tomar una carrera, ya sea en universidad o para continuar el high school en niveles más avanzados. Este curso en línea permite que el estudiante siga su propio ritmo y se enfoca en mejorar las destrezas de lectura, escritura, expresión oral, comprensión auditiva y gramática, siguiendo la instrucción de profesores con amplia experiencia y que cuentan con certificaciones para enseñar en la provincia de British Columbia. Al completar con éxito los 4 niveles que estamos presentando en este programa, si el estudiante decide aplicar a nuestro high school, lo puede hacer y garantizamos su aceptación e ingreso directo al grado 10, si fuera la edad que le corresponde. Si es un estudiante que por otro lado ha culminado ya el grado 10 en su país y tiene el nivel de inglés, podría aplicar desde el grado 11. Next slide, please. Thank you. Este curso, este programa de inglés, cada uno de los niveles que estamos ofreciendo, de los 4 niveles, se divide en 12 unidades, las cuales dividen a su vez en 10 horas por unidad, que sería un total de 120 horas por nivel. Las clases incluyen videos explicativos, como lo vimos hace un momento, y lecciones que se irán siendo revisadas por nuestros profesores e irán desbloqueando cada unidad previo se haya cumplido con los objetivos de la unidad que se termine. Brindamos también retroalimentación e interacción continua con el profesor, videoconferencias individualizadas de 15 minutos, de hasta 3 horas mínimo en total del tiempo entre profesor-estudiante, que sería una diferencia versus cursos en línea en los que no se permite tener una interacción directa con el profesor. Las evaluaciones, cada nivel requiere de 2 evaluaciones a mitad del nivel en la unidad 6 y al finalizarlo en la unidad 12. Y el costo de la aplicación, como podemos ver, es de $50 canadienses que se pagan una sola vez, es decir, que si el estudiante va a tomar 2 niveles o más, solo pagaría una sola vez, la primera vez los $50 para la aplicación. Mientras que para el costo del programa como tal, todo el nivel, perdón, de uno de los niveles o 12 unidades es de $1,500 canadienses e incluye los materiales y toda la retroalimentación, interacción con el profesor. Para aplicar al programa solo se necesita la copia del pasaporte y si el estudiante no ha sacado todavía su pasaporte, puede aplicar con una identificación de su país, el ID del país en el que tenga su nacionalidad. Se llena un formulario en línea en nuestro link de True North. Y el último paso sería tomar un examen de ubicación para saber cuál es el nivel de inglés, poder ubicarlo en cualquiera de los 4 niveles y podría iniciar las clases. No hay fecha límite para aplicar, los estudiantes pueden aplicar en cualquier momento porque el programa como tal permite que el estudiante siga su propio ritmo. Sin embargo, sí recomendamos que un estudiante aplique una semana antes de la fecha que tenga pensado iniciar las clases para que podamos realizar el proceso de aplicación y tomar el examen de ubicación. Eso sería la información general. Es un curso que, como estamos presentando, es ideal para las personas que puedan ir trabajando en grados menores del grado 10, en los primeros años de secundaria, desde su país, empezar a mejorar su nivel de inglés para luego pensar en aplicar al high school en Vancouver Island University o en cualquier otra high school, o inclusive ir mejorando su nivel de inglés para luego aplicar a la universidad. Si tienen alguna pregunta, por favor, les pedimos que nos ayuden poniendo las preguntas en nuestro casillero de preguntas y respuestas y trataremos de responderlas enseguida. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you, Amira. We can move on.
Thanks, Pamela. So I'd like to run the second poll for this evening, and this is a little bit of a fun one, but just notice that we switched the two questions. Sherry, may I ask you to run that one for me, please? While Sherry's pulling that up, I'll just let you know that we've received some questions in the Q&A. There's one in Spanish that Pamela's already responded to, but we'll do that again at the end. If you have any other questions, please put them in and we'll come to them shortly. All right, so the poll's up and the question is, which one is the correct English name for, I think, is that a Spanish word, Pamela? Okay, maybe you should do this one.
Which one is the correct English name for RC?
And so the responses are?
Those are in English, so you can do it.
Alder, acorn, I'm thinking, maple, and cedar. So all types of trees. And probably just for the attendees and Spanish speakers among the panelists. I think, Christine, you may know this one from your days in Costa Rica. So we'll just give you a couple more seconds and then we'll show you the answers and Pamela can tell you which one is right. Okay, Sherry, whenever you're ready, please. Pamela?
Well, the answer was maple, so most 60% got that question, that poll right.
Nice. Thank you very much. So going into our last slide for tonight's webinar, I wanted to invite you once again to put some questions into the Q&A box and remind you that you can reach us with any questions that you may have after this webinar on highschool@viu.ca. And you can also direct them to Pamela at latinamerica@viu.ca. We are open. Most of us are working from home, so we are responding to emails. We can set up meetings with you, take you through it. If you have a group of students or you're working at a school, we would be happy to host a webinar and take students and parents through this program, because it is especially beneficial right now when we're not able to go outdoors as much as we would like. So I'm going to pull up some of the Q&A and I might throw them across to the three panelists. Pamela, could we maybe start with the Spanish one that you've already answered?
Sure. So the question in Spanish was, when is the date of the that the program starts and how much is the program? So I replied and I just mentioned that anybody can start at any time, and the price, the cost is $1,500 Canadian dollars per level, or 12 units.
Perfect, thank you.
I might just add that we will be starting it up in September. So it would be like at the same time that school would start up. I think it's September 8th would be the initial start, yeah.
Thank you. Una parte que adicional quisiéramos mencionar es que este programa inicia a partir de septiembre, cuando inician las clases el 8 de septiembre. A partir de esa fecha iniciarían los programas y no tendríamos una fecha límite para aplicar y lo podrían hacer en cualquier momento. Thank you.
So a question for you, Tricia. How can a parent evaluate the quality of online teaching in this program?
Well, the parent would have access to the website and could look at all of the units and lessons, as well as the videos that their child is looking at. And the teachers are always available via email to connect with the teacher, with the parent, and are happy to do that. And probably if within the 15-minute conference call with the teacher, if a parent had a concern, they could pop in and ask that at that point too.
I'm just going to put that into the text box so those who missed that answer can also see it. And those would be weekly consultations with the teacher?
It's not weekly, it's whenever the student finishes the unit. So there's 12 units. So if a student does 1 unit a week, then it would be weekly. But if a student does 2 units a week, it might be twice a week, or if a student might do 1 unit a month, it might be once a month. It depends on the student.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay.
A second question, possibly for Catherine. Will students receive a certificate of completion?
Absolutely.
And I think maybe Catherine could take this one as well. Online programs are not trusted and assumed to have poor teaching quality. Students may be lazy or they may be cheating. And how are we planning to address this?
Okay, excellent questions. I think the best answer is that this program is being offered by a well-established school that has been teaching English, academic English to international students for 25 years now. And Trisha, you've been teaching for over 20 years, haven't you? Or about 20 years?
23,
so,
yeah.
23 years, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we certainly have, and Christine has 5 years, which is a good solid amount of experience. We certainly have excellent instructors, and it is not a standalone online program. And that's where many of the online programs that can be difficult in terms of quality are because they don't have anything to back them up. We have our whole school's reputation behind this one program. So our school is not just this one program. We are an entire graduation diploma, and we also have Vancouver Island University behind us. So there are many layers of reputational quality that's backing this online program. Students will be lazy. Yeah, sometimes they will be. But the way that Trisha and Christine have structured this program provides many safety nets to ensure that the students are actually progressing through the program. Yes, they're given the time that they need, but if they're not actually completing the course, then the teachers would be in touch with them, probably in touch with the parents as well, to get them back on track. There will be cheating. That's a difficult one because when you're working online and you have the internet at your fingertips, it is possible, yes. But what students and parents need to recognize is that if students cheat their way through the program and then they come to either our high school or any other high school and they don't have the academic English skills that they need, then they will be put in an ESL class for longer than perhaps they expected. You can't cheat your way out of not knowing English. And so that would be the ultimate test. That is certainly what the teachers will be reinforcing with the students as they're going through the program, that it really isn't to their benefit to cheat. They don't get anything out of it. Really it's in their own best interest to take the program seriously and actually learn the English that they need to be successful in high school and university beyond that.
I'd like to add to that too, that midterm and final are both proctored, and they would be having assessment with the teacher. So the assessment will be video. So if they have been doing or cheating their way through this, and then suddenly at midterm they're unable to communicate with the teacher, or even at the end of a unit, there's a bit of a red flag there. So we're not going to allow them to move on until they're showing that they're meeting the requirements of that level. So cheating's not going to help them. Just checking off the boxes and doing the assignments won't help them, because they are being monitored by us for their level.
Thank you.
Can I just add? The purpose of this program is for the students themselves, and we want the student to take self-responsibility, and it's for them to increase their English. So wherever they decide to go, their English is going to be at a higher level. So like what was said before, if they come to the high school or any school or university, they will be tested with an English assessment test. And the more that they work in a program like this, the higher their English will be when they go to try to get into high school, try to get into university. So it's only a benefit for them, for the student, to really work hard and try to improve themselves.
Pamela, I know there was a lot covered there by all three panelists. Would you like to summarize any of the key points for our Spanish speakers?
Sure. Bueno, en general la pregunta era cómo se va a manejar el curso, ya que al ser un programa en línea, pues es un programa que puede crear desconfianza, que los estudiantes pueden engañar al profesor en cuanto al avance. Entonces, bueno, nuestros panelistas mencionaban que primero el tema que vamos a tener videollamadas va a ayudar a que se pueda revisar el avance de los estudiantes a través de una videoconferencia. De igual manera que existan pruebas, una prueba supervisada en la unidad 6 y en la unidad 12 permite también que el profesor pueda verificar cuál es el nivel o pueda constatar que el estudiante esté cumpliendo con las actividades que se le han asignado. Y pues obviamente es importante mencionar acá algo que Tricia mencionaba, que los estudiantes tienen que también pues tener ese sentido de responsabilidad, de querer seguir aprendiendo más, porque mientras mejor lo puedan hacer, mientras más puedan aprovechar de estas herramientas que se les está brindando, podrán aplicar a cualquier high school en cualquier parte del mundo o a una universidad en un futuro y se beneficiarían de esto. Entonces es importante pues mencionar que con estas herramientas que nosotros estamos proponiendo, las conferencias va a permitir que el profesor dé seguimiento al avance del estudiante, pero siempre y cuando también haya compromiso de parte del estudiante.
Thanks, Pamela.
Thank you, Amira.
So my next question, I'm not sure, I'll leave it open and one of the three of you can jump in. So why did we design this program? What was the thinking behind that? Catherine, you want to go first?
Sure. So we've been talking about doing something like this for quite a while. It's very expensive to come to Canada and study. And for some families, coming to learn English is not really what their purpose was. They wanted to come to do the academic program, to get their high school graduation and to move on to university. So part of the reason why we designed this program is that it is a more cost-effective way of getting English skills improved, academic English skills improved, without having to have the huge expense of housing and tuition in Canada. One of the other reasons why it happened now was due to COVID, quite honestly. We realized that with international travel not being able to happen quite so easily in, we don't know for how long, students who may want to come to Canada eventually will be waiting longer and longer. And so that this would be a good way for students to be able to get started on their Canadian high school diploma journey without having to worry about not being able to come into Canada and leave their own country. And then also it's another option for students to do this way, and they can see if this works for them, if they would like to continue on to the high school. So they are doing it without committing to the huge expense, but they're also preparing themselves for any other educational opportunity that they might like to experience. Is there anything else that Tricia or Christine you'd like to add to that?
Okay, we're all good.
Yeah,
one last question. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say I was going to address, that's what the question I thought I was going to be answering, but
you're welcome to take this.
Yes, with the IELTS question. So because we are a part of the university, I am very well versed in the IELTS levels that are required for university and what that actually looks like in terms of student English ability. So for universities in Canada, generally the IELTS requirement is 6.5. So what that means is by the end of grade 12, they need to be at a minimum 6.5. And honestly, 6.5 is not extremely strong in order to be successful at university. So we would like to see it higher, but 6.5 is accepted. So in order to be successful in the high school courses, they need to be coming into the academic courses, so English 10, English 11, English 12, our social studies courses, all of those, at about a 5.5. Anything below that, they're going to really be struggling with the vocabulary, with the essay writing, with the grammar and that type of thing. By the end of this online program, the hope is that they've reached approximately a 5.0. We will give them more support at the school when they arrive to get that level up. So there will be some extra ESL support while they're doing the academic courses when they get to us. Because if you remember one of the first slides I showed, it can take between 5 and 7 years to get very proficient in academic English. So they still will need that support. But yeah, leaving this program, they should be at least 5.0. We'd be happier with a 5.5, but 5.0 would probably be okay. Do you want to add to that, Tricia?
No, and I think the IELTS, I've taught so many students that have been a range of 6 or lower, so it's sort of hard, but what we want them to be successful. And I think exactly what you said. I mean, ideally I would like a higher score before they go in the academic courses, but yeah, that's the goal of this program, is to try and get them higher and higher.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Pamela, did you have any questions that you've received from students or parents that you'd like the panelists to answer for you? Anything that you'd like us to emphasize for your market?
Yes, thank you, Amira. We did receive some questions previously, and actually one of the questions was what happens if parents don't speak English? Would they be able to support their children, or how can they know about their how they're doing in classes and everything? You know, because we are thinking that the students who would be, I don't know, 12, 13 or 14 years old will be taking these classes.
Well, right now we teach many students whose parents don't speak English as well, and by sending them emails, they usually translate it, or alternatively, like I've done Skype calls with the student and the parent together, and a translator, another student who could help translate as well. So there are options like that.
Something that I would like to add to that answer is that definitely I will be a point of contact as well. If parents need some help and don't understand or are not able to speak in English, I will definitely be point of contact as well for parents and teachers as well.
All right, that's perfect. So we've ended a little bit early. We've got 10 minutes to go. And I think we have exhausted the questions that have come up in the Q&A today. But as I said, we are open to receiving any questions on email. You can use the emails addresses that are on your screen right now. So that's highschool@viu.ca or latinamerica@viu.ca. Please send Pamela and I your questions, and please prepare your students to sign up, students or your children to sign up for the start of our program in September this year. And hopefully after that to continue to our high school for their Canadian graduation. I'd like to thank you all, and we hope to see you soon in Canada. Good evening.
Before you close off,
Oh,
Amira,
sure, Catherine.
one quick clarification, because I'm not sure that this came through strongly enough, and that is, yes, the program will be opening up in September, but remember, students can sign up to start the program at any point in the year. We will be taking intakes, was it every Monday, Tricia? Is that what you were thinking? Tricia, you muted.
Sorry, I'm not used to being muted. Yeah, so once we've gotten the student assessed, we would hopefully be starting them up at the beginning of the week, whenever it works for them.
Right. So they could start September, October, November, December, any month.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Just to confirm, in case there was anything else, I'm sorry to have rushed forward. Tricia, Christine, would you like to add anything before we sign off? Pamela?
No, I think I'm good. Thanks.
Good.
Can I just add a comment in Spanish, just to emphasize that, you know, a unit can take, students can take less than a week to finish a unit, or they can take more time. So, en español, bueno, solamente quiero aclararles que al ser un curso, un programa que permite al estudiante seguir su propio ritmo, puede que un estudiante culmine. Nosotros idealmente pensamos que en una semana, porque obviamente el estudiante va a seguir con sus clases actuales académicas en el colegio, que este programa lo puede hacer en su tiempo libre. Creemos que podría ser ideal si lo maneja 2 horas diarias de lunes a viernes, de tal manera que pueda completar un nivel en una semana, una unidad en una semana. Sin embargo, si el estudiante quiere dedicarle más tiempo y decide culminar 2 unidades en una semana, lo puede hacer. O si por otro lado el tiempo con las actividades adicionales que tiene no le permite cumplir ese objetivo, lo podría hacer, podría cumplir una unidad en 2 semanas. Entonces es importante mencionar esto, y algo que había mencionado Catherine es que este programa está diseñado también pues por la situación que estamos viviendo ahora. Sobre todo Latinoamérica es el epicentro, digamos, de la pandemia, y es el momento en que más tenemos que cuidarnos, pero al mismo tiempo yo creo que los padres están siempre buscando actividades adicionales para sus hijos desde casa, y pues esta es una excelente opción que les va a permitir acceder a una preparación académica de inglés dirigida y enseñada por profesores certificados en Canadá. Si tienen cualquier pregunta, estoy siempre a las órdenes, tienen mi correo, y muchísimas gracias por su tiempo. Thank you, Amira.
No problem. Christine, anything you'd like to add?
No, I think it's been covered fairly well.
Okay, great. Well, thank you all so much. And we look forward to hearing from all of you and hopefully seeing you again soon. Stay safe, stay healthy. Until next time. Good night.
Bye.
Adiós.
Bye.
Bye.